1.7 exabyte. That's how much data Sumo Logic analyzes on an average day. That's over 50 exabyte a month or over 600 exabyte a year. It's a lot of data to analyze, and it would not be possible without you, our customer, as we work together to ensure the service level and security of your critical digital infrastructure. The technical foundation of our collaboration is the Sumo Logic data platform. It is the cloud-native, scalable, and multi-tenant platform in which all Sumo apps are built on. It is the engine that is tasked to handle the growing volume of data that you need to analyze in order to support your digital initiatives. It is the engine for growth. At a basic level, the Sumo Logic data platform is made up of components to collect data, to analyze the data, and alert you with notification when it notices that something in your environment is not working properly, and to help you visualize the data so that you can achieve situation awareness and find the root cause of problems quickly. It's built on a cloud-native foundation with enterprise-grade security, and it supports over 200 applications for solving all sorts of problems. Today, let me give you an update on the improvement that we have made to this engine for growth and what to expect from us in the coming times as we work together to support your digital enterprise. Before you can start using Sumo, you need to get data into Sumo first. So let's start with data collection. Today, Sumo Logic provides you with a range of options to ingest data into Sumo. You can use our classic install collector, the Cloud Collections Framework, or one of our open source options, such as FluentD, FluentBit, Prometheus, Telegraph, and of course, OpenTelemetry, which we released support several months ago. It's great to have all these options, but having so many choices also creates complexities. And you have to use different types of collections mechanisms, depending on the type of telemetry data that you need to collect. We're working to simplify data collections for you. With our open telemetry-based Sumo Logic collector, we now have a single host-based mechanism that unifies the gatherings of logs, metrics, trace, and events for both observability and security use cases. This new collector leverages the open source OpenTelemetry project, an industry standard with over 20 leading enterprise software companies supporting the effort, and its capabilities are growing rapidly. Our new OpenTelemetry-based collector is available on a wide range of host platforms. So whether you're running your applications and infrastructure in the cloud or in your own data center, whether you have traditional applications or cloud-native microservices running in containerized environments, it can collect the critical telemetry data for you. Here are more details on where we are heading with our OpenTelemetry-based collector. On the left-hand side of this table are our classic collectors. These collectors provide a range of capabilities, whether it's handling different types of telemetry data, the data sources that they support, collector management, and the operating systems host that they can run on. We're working to replicate these features into our OpenTelemetry-based Sumo Logic collector. You can think of this collector as Sumo Logic's distribution of OpenTelemetry with enhancement to make the collector work seamlessly with the Sumo Logic platform. Similar to various types of Linux distribution that package up the Linux kernel and provide value-added capabilities. The middle column of this table shows the features that are already available in our OpenTelemetry distribution. Our near-term works involves adding HTTP collections support, Windows support, and remote agent management to our OpenTelemetry distro. Sumo Logic is standardizing on this OpenTelemetry-based technologies, and we believe that over time, this will become the preferred means for host-based telemetry data collection. If you haven't tried our OpenTelemetry collector yet, we suggest that you give it a look and give us feedback on how we may improve it for you. Host-based collection is not the only way to get data into Sumo. We know that many of you are increasingly using public cloud services to run your enterprises. In fact, many of you are using multiple public clouds, and we are right there with you, enabling direct, agentless, and cloud-native data collections so that you can monitor all your cloud assets together. In the past several months, we have released improved support for Google Cloud Platform. You can now collect metrics from 35 services, as well as your custom services that you integrate into Google Cloud. We're working with our other cloud partners to support new means of data collections as well. So when they launch the new services, we'll be right there to support them. We're also improving our cloud-to-cloud collections framework with better health monitoring and scalable deployment. Once you get data into Sumo, the next thing is to make use of the data. Alerts and notifications are important capabilities to help you manage your environment. But they're more than that. They also affect the quality of life for those of you who are on calls. After all, how many times have you received alerts, notifications in the middle of the night, or in the middle of a meal, or in the middle of a ball game, because of problems in your environment? So let's talk about recent improvement where we are heading with alerts and notifications to improve your user experience. About 2 years ago, we launched our next-gen alerting framework with capabilities such as unified alerting for both logs and metrics, API and Terraform deployment, auto resolutions, multiple notifications, customizable email payload, mechanisms to reduce alert noise, and so on. It was a huge improvement over what we had. Last year, we followed up with alert responses, providing a more curated experience for ops engineers to help them quickly and effectively solve production problems, with contextual information such as alert overview, potential impact analysis, and system-curated context to give clues on what may be causing problems so that they can look into the details. This year, we continue to refine our next-gen alerting framework to add capabilities such as alert grouping, which helps reduce repeated and related alerts noise, more controls over auto resolution, cloud SOAR connections, alert name customization, benchmark card in alert response, which provides additional contextual information about the alert, infrequent tier support in monitors, greater metrics monitor limits, and maintenance Windows mute control, so alerts don't go off when the system is in maintenance. Longer term, our goal is to make our alerts and notification even smarter by leveraging machine learning techniques in more accurately detect or even predict problems before they occur. Also, we want to enable better response automation in order to help your organization reduce incident response times. Alerts and notification is a very important topic, and we can't talk about enough in this platform update. So we have created a dedicated session that focuses on this topic. So please go watch that session after you finish watching this platform update. Aside from alerts and notifications, another key way that you want to use the data that you have in Sumo Logic is through dashboards. They provide you with situation awareness of what's going on in your environments. 2 years ago, we released our Gen 2 dashboard, also known as new dashboards. They offer many advantages over our classic dashboards, including new types of visualizations, longer time range for log panels, improved navigations and controls, and ability to view both logs and metrics data together on the same panel. We have continued to improve this dashboard to make it better and better. Responses from you have been fantastic. Many of you have switched from using classic dashboards. In the past 3 months, Gen 2 dashboards were used over 1.5 million times. The rate of adoption is accelerating, with usage growing by 35% just in the past 6 months. But still, not everyone is using the Gen 2 dashboard for every case yet. And there are good reasons why, as there are some classic dashboard capabilities that are still not in Gen 2. To manage the scope of the initial release of the Gen 2 dashboard, we had to identify the set of features to focus on first. So what we naturally did was to look at the classic dashboards and pick the features that people liked and are used more and work on those first. Conceptually, the analysis that we did looked like the chart on this slide, which shows classic dashboards feature usage. As you can see on this slide, some classic features were more popular than the others, so we work on them first and left out some of the less used ones. We have since added many of these classic features back to Gen 2, and the vast majority of classic dashboard features are now available in Gen 2. But we're not done yet, as there are still a couple items that we need to finish, such as public dashboards, server visualization types, and better data access control. We're going to double our focus in the near term to bring the capabilities that you like from classic dashboards over to Gen 2. Now, it doesn't mean we'll simply re-implement everything exactly the way that it was before. No. We want to make things to work even better. So some details of the new implementations will naturally be different. And when we finally bring Gen 2 to parity, we can retire the classic dashboards, and we'll be able to focus our energy on bringing more innovations to Gen 2 dashboards. There are no lack of ideas. We'll be looking on new types of visualizations, better control, more ways to share dashboard data, improve workflow, and so on. We need to work together to get to this future by migrating to Gen 2 dashboards. And we'll do everything that we can to make the migration process easier. In fact, we're launching an automated migration feature that will convert your classic dashboards to Gen 2 with a push of a button. Let me show you how it works. What I have here is a classic dashboard. How do I know that this is a classic dashboard? If I look at the color of its icon, it is in green. And the Gen 2 dashboards, otherwise known as new dashboards, have blue icons. Another way that I can tell that this is a classic dashboard is that it has this migrate to new dashboard options. And this is exactly what I'm going to show today. So let me click on it. An information window pops up. As I pointed out earlier, in Gen 2 dashboard, we have not implemented all the classic features yet, although the vast majority of classic features have been implemented in Gen 2. But there's still a couple that are not yet in there. So naturally, if you're trying to migrate a dashboard with one of those few classic features that are not yet in Gen 2, the automatic migration would not complete properly. And this windows provides some information with the examples of features that are still not yet implemented, so they won't migrate. So one of those, for example, is the public dashboard. If you try to migrate a classic public dashboard to Gen 2, chances are it would actually migrate. However, that the public dashboard would then become a private dashboard in Gen 2. And later on, in the not too distant future, as we add public dashboard support to Gen 2, you will be able to convert that dashboard back to a public dashboard. Let's focus on the task at hand, which is to migrate this classic dashboard to Gen 2. And I'm going to click the migrate to new dashboard button. And wow, it's already migrated. Look at how fast and easy it is. I'm going to open the migrated dashboard. And as you can see, that it looks exactly like the classic dashboard that we just migrated from. In fact, I can go back to that classic dashboard here. And there are 6 panels, right? These 6 panels, and you will see that they got migrated exactly. The 6 panels all got migrated automatically. And the great thing is, once you migrate your classic dashboard to Gen 2 dashboards, you can take advantage of all the new capabilities. So for example, it's a lot easier to change a Gen 2 dashboard. I can add a panel from right within the dashboard. So I'm going to do just that. Let me click the Add Panel button. and I'm going to add a single value panel to show some login information. So let me enter the search criteria, and I'm going to update the labels and update the heading, and I'm going to add this new panel to the dashboard. And look at that, okay, it just got added. And I'm going to resize this, and I'm going to reposition it, and I don't need to go into edit mode as I had to in Classic in order to do in order to make this change. This is how easy it is to change a Gen 2 dashboard. And if you're still using Classic, please go check out Gen 2, and chances are you'll like it. Let's all migrate from Classic dashboard to Gen 2 dashboard. In addition to making functional improvement to our data collections, alerts and notifications, and dashboard, platform security is another key area of focus. We have improved our SAML configurations by enabling you to import metadata provided by the IDP so that you don't need to manually enter the parameters again. We have added fine-grained permissions to monitors so that you can now control who can create, read, update, delete, and manage those monitors based on roles. In the near future, we'll be working on additional single sign-on options to make it easier for users to log onto Sumo. More controls on content security so that you can have more users accessing Sumo and you can control what they can access. And improved API authorization so that you will have more flexibility in how you automate your use of Sumo by making calls to our APIs. We also plan on adding role-based access control to our open telemetry-based collector. Another key part of our platform security work is in multi-org. Multi-org is a way to enable a hierarchy of parent and child organization for a given Sumo tenant so that you can divide access among different organizations and still be able to manage them as one. There are several use cases where this arrangement is important. You may be an enterprise customer that started out with individual departments using Sumo, and you want to combine the islands of usage into a single tenant. Your company may be acquiring another company that also happens to be a Sumo customer, and you want to combine the tenants together. Or you may be a managed service provider, and you need to be able to manage all the tenants that you have on Sumo Logic together while giving them separate access. Multi-org is a great way to support all these scenarios. In the first release of multi-org, we introduced baseline capabilities to define a parent organization and provision child organization underneath it. It also includes consolidated usage reporting to give a single view of how Sumo is used across all the child organizations. We are following up these initial capabilities by adding new account overview page to improve cross-account visibility, support for promotional credits so that the child organizations can take advantage of promotional offers that we make, a revamped user interface for allocating credits to make the process faster and easier, and to enable the export of child usage data so that they can be stored and analyzed in your reporting tools of choice along with other datasets. Beyond these near-term improvements, we're working on additional ideas for centralizing content and configuration management, more complex hierarchies, additional cross-management options, and self-service options. Besides multi-org, another way that we enable the broader use for Sumo Logic is via Sumo apps. You come to Sumo because you have specific problems that you need to solve. And today, we have over 200 applications that run on the Sumo Logic platform to solve various types of problems. The applications that we have today are made up of dashboards and safe search definitions. As you probably know, there are many more configurations that are involved in getting data to appear on a dashboard. And those configurations are not included in the application's definition. Consequently, even for applications that we shipped, there's still quite a bit of configurations work that you need to do before data start appearing on the dashboard. Furthermore, when a new version of an app comes out and you update the new versions, the old configurations are not migrated. So you have to set things up over again. These shortcomings are obviously problematic, and we are fixing them. We are revamping Sumo apps, starting with the framework that we use to build the apps. Besides dashboards and safe searches, it would be possible to include various other types of configurations, such as field extraction rules, lookups, metric monitors and rules, scheduled search and views into the application's definitions. This will allow our solutions team at Sumo to build apps that require less configurations when you deploy them. We'll also be working on improved applications updates so that you find out about a new version of the applications faster and it takes less work to migrate to a new version. As the updated app framework becomes available, our solutions team will be working on updating the apps that are available so that they take advantage of the new capabilities. Another improvement for these new apps is that they will feature end-to-end installation and setup of not only the applications, but also the data source and the data collections, so that data will be flowing into these apps when they are set up and they will become immediately useful. This slide shows part of the design of the end-to-end applications, installations, and setup process. The updated user interface will take you step by step through the installations and setup. The image on the left-hand side of this slide shows the first step of the mockup for deploying an open telemetry-based collector to Linux. By answering a few simple questions, the tool will generate the command that you need to run or to be included in your infrastructure as code deployment configurations in order to bootstrap the deployment of open telemetry collector into your environment. As the collector is deployed and checks in with Sumo Logic, an indicator will lit up showing you that the collector is able to communicate. The image on the right-hand side of the slide shows the final step of the flow after all the prerequisites for deployment of an app have been satisfied and the apps got deployed properly. On this page, you can learn about the various capabilities of the app, or you can launch into it directly to check it out. Revamping the framework for Sumo apps to include the key configurations artifacts and providing an end-to-end app installations and setup process are work that we'll be focusing on in the near term. But let's not forget the end goal that we're trying to accomplish. What we're building toward is the future for Sumo apps, to which there'll be better apps and more apps. We want to democratize the creations of apps so that more people, whether it's our partners or our customers, can build the apps or take an existing app, improve it, and share the improvements. We want to get to a point where you come to us with a certain problem that you want to solve, and we'll always be able to tell you, yes, there's an app for that. So, what apps would you like? We're working hard to make Sumo Logic work better for all of you, to make it the engine for growth for your organizations in support of your digital initiatives. We have shared with you the work that we are doing in many areas of the platform, from data collections to alerts and notifications, from dashboards to platform security to Sumo apps. This concludes the platform update, but there's one more thing that we want to talk about. And that's how we can work together to make this Sumo Logic data platform, the engine for growth, work for all of you. One area of our collaborations is ideas to improve our product. Many of you have been active in providing suggestions on how we can improve Sumo, with over 2,000 ideas submitted for the platform so far. We have worked on close to 700 of them, and more work is being done. Please keep the ideas coming. Our products team look forward to collaborating with you on their ideas.sumologic.com platform. Besides telling us what apps you would like to use, we also want to get your feedback on our open telemetry-based collectors, on how we should evolve our data collection strategy, on how we need to make Sumo alerts and notifications smarter and work specifically for your workflow. on how we can further improve our Gen 2 dashboards and getting you migrated, and so on. Thank you for watching this session. Thank you for being our customers and giving us the privilege to serve you with the Sumo Logic Data Platform, the engine for growth.